Welcome to Ask the Beauty Advisor, a podcast that answers your health and beauty questions. Hosted by health and beauty advisor, Deanna Lynn.
Hey there, thank you for tuning in today for another episode of Ask the Beauty Advisor. This is your host, Deanna, and on today's episode, we're going to be talking about makeup for the mature woman. Should women over 45 give up makeup? Well, that is the question I'm going to be answering this week. Today's email question came in from a listener named Karen. Now, Karen seems to be a little bit worried about her makeup. She's 45 years old and her makeup just doesn't look right anymore. She's thinking maybe she should give up makeup altogether. So today I'm going to read you Karen's email. Plus, I'm going to share some makeup advice and makeup tips for women over 40. But before we get into that, I would like to thank you for subscribing and sharing this podcast. This last month, my subscribers blossomed. I got so many new subscribers for the month of January. And, well, I know it's because of you sharing the podcast. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who shared the podcast. Thank you for subscribing. I'm thrilled, and I appreciate all your support. So with that being said, let's go ahead and open up Karen's email.
You've got mail, Miss Lynn.
All right, so let me first start by reading Karen's email. I'm in my mid-40s and hate the way I look. Something just doesn't look right. I don't even look like myself anymore. Now that the kids are gone, I have time to really take a good look at myself in the mirror. And, well, I don't like what I see. It seems my makeup is making me look older. I've been wearing the same makeup for over 20 years, and it has always looked great. But now eyeshadow seems to make my eyelids look crepey, and so does eyeliner. My foundation accentuates the lines around my eyes. I've seen mature women wearing makeup that really doesn't look good. Should I be giving up the makeup? Am I too old now for makeup? What advice do you give mature women for wearing makeup? Well, Karen, the good news is you never have to give up your makeup. You're never too old for makeup. But you may want to change up your makeup a little bit. When we talk about our makeup, our hair color, or even our hairstyle, I find that women over 40 are either really afraid of makeup or they overcompensate. They use too much makeup. And sometimes I even see women over 40 wearing the same makeup they wore when they were 25. There comes a point in most of our lives where we get busy raising a family or get super focused on a career. We stop thinking so much about ourselves. And as the years fly by, we don't always take the time to take a really good look at ourselves. We hate change. We get in a rut of doing things exactly the same way, and to change takes us out of our comfort zone. A good example of this, about a year ago, I was out doing some grocery shopping. I saw this mature or older woman with this really bright red, long, straight hair. She was wearing black cakey eyeliner and crepey blue eyeshadow. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, that woman she looks so strange. She could look a lot better if she'd just soften up her makeup and hair. I think all of us at one time or another have seen women that seem to be trying too hard to look young. A few moments later, this woman actually approached me. She came up to me and said, "Hey, do you remember me? We went to high school together. It's me, Maggie. Remember me from high school?" It took me a couple of seconds before realizing who she was. Now, Maggie had been the hottest girl in high school, and I can tell you, us girls all wanted to be her. She had this long, silky, red, straight hair, and she wore perfectly applied blue eyeshadow. She lined her eyes with heavy, dark eyeliner and topped it all off with a pair of false eyelashes. And yes, Her makeup was heavy. But this was the 60s, and that was the style. Let's fast forward 35 years, and her hair and makeup, which was exactly the same, just wasn't working for her anymore. In fact, her hair color and her makeup were actually making her look older. They were dating her. And, well, I really hate to say this, but she looked rather clownish.
Oh, no.
It's normal to want to hang on to a time in our lives that we were the happiest, prettiest, or even the most successful. Sometimes we can subconsciously associate the high points in our lives with our appearance. Our appearance becomes part of our identity. So naturally, if we make any changes to our hair or makeup, we can become afraid of losing ourselves. We're afraid of becoming old, or we're afraid of looking old. But in truth, a little change to our makeup or hair coloring could possibly actually renew and refresh our appearance. I've seen changes like this make a person look 15 years younger. And oh, sure, Maggie still gets attention, but I'm sure she's not getting the kind of attention she's looking for. Sadly, Maggie, the girl I knew as the hottest girl in school, seems to be trying to live a life she's already lived. The makeup techniques and color palettes that worked for you when you were younger could actually be making you look older now. Here are 5 things you should think about to ensure you're highlighting and not distracting from your own natural beauty. So let's start with number 1, and this is the biggie. Skipping foundation. Now, when we were younger, we could certainly get away with skipping the foundation. However, it is one of the most important steps to a youthful appearance. But this is only true if you're using the right makeup for your skin type, if you're applying it correctly, and blending it evenly. If not, the truth is your foundation really could be making you look older. So why is this? Well, most powder and liquid foundations can go cakey. They can be caked on. They can sink into fine lines and wrinkles. This makes the signs of aging more obvious. But skipping your foundation isn't the solution. The first thing you want to do is make sure that your skin is well hydrated and moisturized. And then secondly, look for a foundation that says it's an anti-aging foundation. Avoid oil-free foundations. They're more porous and they're going to sink into your lines and wrinkles. Secondly, you may want to try adding a layer of primer or a wrinkle filler or something called a wrinkle blur. These type of products can work quite well for keeping your makeup up on the surface of your skin and keeping it from sinking down into the lines or even your pores. One of the great advantages of using a primer or a wrinkle filler is that they'll keep your makeup fresh all day. You'll want to apply these products over your moisturizer, but under your makeup. Another sort of type of foundation that you might want to try is an all-purpose BB cream. They work like a foundation, but offer additional benefits, including extra hydration. Most BB creams are lightweight enough to avoid settling into your fine lines or pores. They also offer the benefit of evening out your skin tones. Now, as you get past 40, another component that you'll want to add to your makeup arsenal is blush. I'm not sure why women over 40 simply think they don't need blush. The fact is, those rosy cheeks we had years ago tend to fade with age. So this makes blush a makeup must, especially for women over 40. I know most women prefer a more natural look when it comes to their makeup concern, but even the most natural, beautiful complexions can look washed out without just the right techniques. Keep your complexion looking youthful and avoid that dull look by incorporating blush into your daily makeup routine. Blending is the secret to a natural-looking blush. It's probably better to go without blush than to have 2 pink circles on your cheeks. Cream blush works really well for women over 40. And hey, this is not mom's makeup. Cream blush works as an all-over solution. Dab just a few dots into the cheekbones and smudge it with your fingertips. Next, you'll want to be careful about using too much concealer. One of the biggest mistakes that I see women over 40 doing is using a heavy or thick concealer. Now, of course, we all want to look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. If you didn't get enough sleep or you have under-eye dark circles, concealers are amazing for correcting this problem. But you don't want to use too much concealer, or you don't want to use the wrong concealer. This could make the area look even worse. It's important when selecting a concealer that you select one with the right texture, the right color, but you'll also need to know the right technique for applying the concealer. Concealers can settle into the fine lines, especially around the eyes, and actually draw attention to the signs of aging or fatigue. If this is happening to you, you're probably just using a concealer that's the wrong texture. I would recommend that you use a smooth and creamy pot concealer or tube concealer or even a concealer in a wand. Stay away from the stick concealers. They sometimes can be dry or too heavy. Choose a concealer that's 1 or 2 shades darker than your own natural skin tones. This will help to keep the concealer from washing out your under eye area. Dab it on, stay away from the crow's feet around the eyes, and blend with a makeup sponge. Now, here's a little beauty tip for you. Did you know that coffee grounds can help reduce dark circles and puffiness? Well, it's true. Just dab moistened coffee grounds under your eyes for about 5 minutes in the morning and let the coffee go to work. Coffee contains caffeine, and caffeine will stimulate circulation and reduce the appearance of dark circles and puffiness. Good to know, right? Now here's another mistake that can make you look older, and that's thinking lip liner is still in. A lip liner can do wonders. It can wreak havoc as well. You see, as you age, lips naturally lose collagen and thin. If you use lip liner, this could potentially worsen the problem. How so? It sinks into the fine lines around the mouth, and this simply draws attention to them. To boost your thin-looking lips, just avoid the lip liner. What you can do to keep your lips looking youthful and plump is use a lip enhancer. These work really well if you use them continuously. Also, when it comes to lipstick colors, avoid dark colors. They tend to make the lips look smaller. Choose a light tone, and then just top it off with a shiny lip gloss. Shiny lip gloss can make your lips look very young and plump. All right, so let's turn our attention now to eyelashes. When it comes to mascara, there's been a lot of improvement in mascara over the last decade. Many women make the mistake of neglecting the quality of their mascara, assuming they're all the same. Not so. There are some formulas that'll cake, and there's formulas that'll flake off, and then there's some formulas that get smudgy and make you look like you have under-eye dark circles. It just looks messy. You may have to experiment with different mascaras till you find one that works right for you. Get some recommendations from your friends. I have also found that some of the inexpensive or drugstore mascaras actually work a lot better than some of the real expensive ones. Don't spend a lot of money on mascara. And today's mascaras are so great, you really don't even need a waterproof mascara. Also, I'd check out what the makeup counter has to offer in the way of lash extending mascara. Longer, thicker eyelashes really do make your eyes look younger. Just as a side note here, lashes should always point upward. So that means for some people, they might need to use an eyelash curler. If you're not comfortable using an eyelash curler or it's just an extra step that you don't have time for, there are curl-enhancing mascaras. These type of mascaras are really easy to use. You just brush the mascara on in an upward motion, and the mascara will actually hold the eyelashes up. It really does make a world of difference for a youthful and bright-eyed look. So now, if you are a health and beauty fan and you'd like to get more great health and beauty tips, then join me on Facebook. I post information and health tips there daily. That's Ask the Beauty Advisor on Facebook. There is also a link in the show notes. I would also like to invite you to join my monthly newsletter. I send out a newsletter once a month with in-depth health and beauty articles, meal planning, and I always try to include at least one do-it-yourself beauty treatment. You can join the monthly newsletter from my Facebook page, or you can also join from the link in the show notes. Well, that is all I have for you this week. I hope you got a lot out of this week's episode, and I'd like to invite you to come listen in next week. Until then, have a great week.
Bye now, y'all.
Ask the Beauty Advisor is a part of the Beauty Radio Network. If you have a podcast or need help in starting a podcast and would like to be a part of a free, supportive network, then learn more by contacting Deanna at beautyradionetwork.com.